morning, Werner. Thanks for joining us with the Stanton Chase Leadership Series. We're talking about values. HERE Technologies is the global leading location platform in the world. The values of Stanton Chase, the Netherlands, are courage, excellence and equality. How does that relate to what you're dealing with in HERE?
Yeah, well, thank you, Jan-Bart. Good morning, and thank you for having me. So if you think about the values of HERE Technologies, we center our values, or let's say our culture is centered around 5 core values. That's be true, be bold, give back, learn fast, and win together. So if you think about that, everything we do is based on the core values of HERE Technologies. So if I then think about what you just said as well, about courage, I think I would connect that to being bold at HERE. Speak up when you need to, when you want to speak up, or when you see something that is not right. If you think about equality, I strongly connect that actually to our inclusion, diversity, and belonging efforts. Everyone is the same. Everyone is equal in the company as well. It doesn't really matter what role you have, what position you are in. We really expect everyone to work together.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. How does that translate in behaviors?
So we try to translate, let's say, the values, what do we expect in the behaviors? And the past, I would say 5 years, we have put a lot of effort to get to shape the culture further.
Yeah, because 5 years ago, HERE was actually developed by merging together, I think 4 or 5 different organizations.
Yeah. That's correct. So HERE Technologies was, let's say, was bought, that's almost 5 years ago, or let's say more than 5 years ago. It will be 6 years, I think, in December, by a consortium of 3 OEMs, 3 automotive OEMs, which was Daimler-Benz, BMW, and Audi. Yes. Before that, it was Nokia. So Nokia divested and sold it to the automotive sector. And when it was within Nokia, it is the old Navtech. That is sometimes a name that resonates with many people. Navtech is known from navigation maps, let's call it like that. And that's in the end the core of our location platform business that we are today. And when Nokia divested, the OEMs bought HERE in a consortium. We also got a new CEO, Edzard Overbeek, ex-Cisco, and he's running the company now for over 5 years. I think he joined in March 2016. And Edzard and the leadership team at that time really looked at the company like, how do we bring this forward? How do we transform from the company we are today to become the leading location platform company in the world?
And how has your values and the consequential behavior led to that?
So based on, let's say, the initial start of Edzard there, we really looked at and we surveyed more or less the people. We really had to combine multiple companies in the end. When it was under Nokia, it was Navtech, I already mentioned that. It was a company called Gate 5 in Berlin. Yeah. It was a company called Medio, Medio in Seattle, Nokia itself. Yeah. So there was a blend of different cultures in the company. And HERE Technologies was never, let's say, they didn't put too much effort to bring all the companies together. Hey, if you are a big consortium like Nokia and you buy different companies, you just blend it and you move forward. So we said, as an independent company now, and the ambition we have, we need to have a very strong culture. And culture can only be built on, let's say, a strong foundation and developing the core values. So with the leadership team, we really thought about how should that look like, what's important to us, because the closer the values are to your personal values, the better it is, the more natural it comes across, and also the more relaxed people will feel in your company.
What I've noticed over the last few years is that when I speak to candidates who are actually very successful in their organization, but they start to discover that their personal values are not aligned with the company values anymore. When you've changed or worked on enhancing the culture and the values of HERE, did that also change the type of people that you attract, and did it create also some people leaving?
Yes. Yeah, that's a great question, I think, Jan-Bart. So when you start to transform, and when you go into transformation, and you start to become let's say, a different company, hey, you want to become the leading location platform company, and you come from a world, more from a content world, the map creation, the digital maps, etc. And becoming a platform company, you become much more a software organization. It requires also different skill sets. So it requires, besides the culture you want to drive, culture is built by people. Yeah. The people you need, let's say, from a content perspective versus being more in a software environment is different. We still try to manage both worlds because content is very important because the content is fueling the platform. Yeah. But building the platform and the applications in the platform, that's much more software related. Yeah. So we've been carefully, let's say, shaping the organization, transformation, especially for the first, let's say, 3 to 4 years when here became, let's say, a private company under a consortium to drive the change. Yes, you saw people leaving. People say, I don't feel comfortable anymore in the direction we are taking. I think the things we have done in the past 20 years were very good, so why would we change? So people are a bit more change resistant. Yeah. So you saw attrition coming, and I think that's also a good thing. Having people in the company for multiple years is great, and long tenures. We have multiple people with long tenures in the company. If you can continue to grow, change, adapt to where we are, being resilient, that is one of the most important characteristics, I think, for being part of here. Living through ambiguity is another part that you need to be used to. So attrition will happen. I think every company has attrition, and I think that's okay. If you go to a transformation, yes, there will be perhaps sometimes more attrition. We bring in new leaders that fit the core values. At least that's what it's important to us when we do a search, for example, that we bring people in that are close and aligned to the values of the company. The proof of the pudding is in the end in the eating. I think as a search firm, I think you would know that as well. You try to make the great match. As a company you want that, and you from an excellence perspective, you will do the same. You try to bring the right candidates to the company. We really strive to bring people within culture. You see that we have existing people that have been here for a long time that adapt perfectly. They are still part of the company. They are part of the growth trajectory. And also the new leaders you bring in, you see that they bring new energy. They bring a different perspective. And you see also that people really feel energized to help and move the company forward. Yeah.
No, that's actually very important to make that difference. Our experience and which we also embedded in our whole process is actually also looking at cultural match and cultural adaptability of people. And this is exactly what you say. The success is built by the people in the end. People do business with people, never with a company. Yeah. Company is a sum of all the people together, and having a great culture, which is like you said, be true, be bold, be flexible. That really makes the difference to drive a great organization forward. And I think here Technologies has done a great job, because 5 years ago you weren't the number one. Now you are for several years as seen by independent organizations. So congratulations on that and on driving the culture forward to build a great organization.
Yeah, I think you are totally right. People, the culture is built by the people. It also starts with the leadership team. It's also about role modeling. What we have seen, people know the values. We've invested quite a bit in that, of course, in the past year when we developed them, in communicating about it, advertising it, explaining, talking, etc. So they know the values, they know the descriptors. People know how to use it in emails, for example, in hashtag win together with the team effort, hashtag being true with some feedback. I think the role modeling part, that's also something that's a continuous development cycle, I would think, because you need to continue, especially as leadership, the core values of the company. Yeah. Because people need to recognize that we're not only talking about the 5 core values, but that we're also living it. Yeah. And I think that's still the part that we continue to work on, that we continue to evolve, and we have continuous feedback loops 2 times a year. about engagement scores, about what do you see, what can we do different to continue to shape.
Okay. Well, that's great to hear, Werner. Wishing you and the company all the best for the future, and look forward to continuing our relationship.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jan-Bart.
You too.